Our family trip to Portugal is canceled. It was May 2020. Staring at the screen, soul deflated, completing Air Canada's refund process with my partner. There was no other choice. Our journey as new parents in the clouded world of the pandemic had only just begun. With every passing day, every sacrifice, every baby's first, the less I knew who I was or my purpose. One night, later in 2020, as we all grew increasingly panicked, I rocked my baby to soothe her. My own floodgates opened. I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best. I wish I were a better parent. I was not okay. So much sacrificed to protect ourselves from something we barely understood. So much was out of our control. I sought therapy. I learned coping strategies. I kept my appointments even when I had to trek my baby with me. I had to believe there was something in me worth saving. I had to believe it was worth it for my family. I was courageous. In the fall of 2021, pandemic lockdowns and waves still cresting and crashing, I longed for travel, which had been completely taken away. See, my soul is like a bird. When my bird is caged, I suffer. It was happening again. Even if I longed to be on my own, to breathe my own breath, to remember who I was, even for a moment. Even if the place was within an hour's drive from my home, I needed that sense of wonder, curiosity, independence, freedom, somehow. I clicked book now. I didn't ask my partner if it was okay. My family was not even invited. Internalized mom guilt had me sweating. What if they need me? What if she refuses the bottle and perishes? What if we get separated by an angry mob of zombies? Obviously, I'm the world's worst mom. But something inside reminded me that I'm worth saving. I unapologetically followed my longing. A sucker punch to the gut? No, it was my soul kicking my heart. Something inside told me that the next chapter of our lives was to be written in Portugal when we were finally there on our vacation in June 2022. I had never even considered that before. We were happy enough with our life in Canada. Rather than ignore it, I trepidatiously told my partner over coffee on the patio we had just spent weeks renovating. The shock. Everything started falling into place. Before we knew it, the home we loved was sold, our belongings Marie Kondoed and on a ship to Lisbon. It was so intense, yet incredibly groundbreaking. Finally, my flight was boarding, a one-way ticket in one hand and my daughter's tiny hand in the other. This was notable. When you live in Canada, you get used to swapping out clothing with the seasons. It was fall of 2020. I pulled down my bin of winter clothes and I opened the lid and I was mortified. Whose clothes are these? They cannot be mine. They're dull, lifeless, colorless, spiritless. At that moment, it hit me how lost I was. Who I was cried to be explored, defined, and freed. There was something within me under these clothes worth saving. The ideals and aesthetic expectations of women in our society did not feel easy, breezy, beautiful to me. That's when I learned what genderqueer means. Through playful exploration and bold rebellion and lots of haircuts, my gender expression emerged. It feels euphoric, yet terrifying as a former good girl, people pleaser from an immigrant family. Every day, I choose my truth, not only for me, but for my daughter and for the collective. The decision not to remove body hair out of fear still tries to keep me from fully living. Instead, I choose my truth, even if it is absolutely terrifying. Dear patriarchy, I don't want to follow your rules anymore. I choose my own. I am transcendent. It was the beginning of 2022 on my second solo Paris, Ontario weekend. I bought myself an early bird ticket to a conference in Puerto Rico, even though it felt outrageous. January of 2023, I flew from Lisbon to Madrid to San Juan, a much farther journey than originally anticipated. Even upon arrival, I questioned my decision as I awaited my bags. My swollen chest ached for my baby across the ocean. It was incredibly worth it. There was a party scheduled. I strided into the party in a sexy outfit that I did not believe a parent is allowed to wear. With an unshaved body to boot, what if everyone judges me for my body hair or my dancing? Or, this isn't how a parent acts anymore. You're past this now. These invisible mental shackles. One by one, I unlocked them and I decided to be free. Upon leaving the party, I spotted it, the sparkly backdrop. I handed a friend my camera. I jumped in front of that backdrop and I started coaching myself to pose out loud. Pose, pose, pose. What a fun way to end the night. That liberation was worth saving. Back home, I connected with a fellow conference attendee, Maddie, and she said, I heard you, I saw you, and I needed to be your friend. We're great friends now. If nothing else, this is the most obvious sign that it is so important to be our authentic selves with others, to forge true connection. This is my why. Despite having to cancel that trip back in 2020, we now live in Portugal. I love my true self. With every morning run or fun in the sun with my family, I remember that courageous me who rocked my baby and myself. I remember that unapologetic me who booked a hotel stay and an early bird conference ticket in another country without permission. I think of that notable me who was the driving force behind moving us here and selling our first family home. I think of the transcendent me who refused to be kept in a dull, lifeless box, literally. No matter where I find myself, I think of that authentic me posing in front of that backdrop. Wherever your travels take you in life, remember, it is never about something worth saving. It is always about someone worth saving. Thank you so much.